Ever feel like your emotions are a whirlwind, constantly shifting and changing like 1,000 conversations happening at once? One minute you're laughing about something silly, and the next, you're deep in thought, analyzing every detail of your feelings. It's like your emotions have a mind of their own, jumping from one thought to the next, always seeking variety, excitement, and a little bit of chaos. But how do you stay grounded when your heart's always running in 100 directions? Let's dive into why Gemini moons are emotional chameleons, constantly adapting, learning, and evolving. Welcome to the AstroDecode Podcast, where we decode your moon sign with a mix of cosmic wisdom and brutal honesty. Gemini moon individuals are known for their quick wit, intellectual curiosity, and ever-changing moods. They thrive on mental stimulation and are like human sponges, soaking up information, experiences, and people with equal enthusiasm. Emotionally, they can be a little unpredictable. One minute, they're laughing at a meme. The next, they're analyzing the depths of the human condition. But don't mistake their mental agility for emotional detachment. These individuals are very much in touch with their feelings, even if they have a funny way of showing it. They're the type to talk through their emotions rather than sit in silence, always looking for the right words to explain what they're going through. If you ever need a friend to chat with, Gemini moons are your go-to. Emotionally, Gemini moons are like weather patterns in constant flux. Their feelings come and go as quickly as a summer breeze. One moment, they're feeling excited and optimistic. The next, they're deep in thought, pondering life's mysteries. They don't like to sit with their emotions for too long. Instead, they intellectualize them, often processing feelings through conversation or writing. This doesn't mean they're avoiding their emotions, it's just their way of understanding them. However, this mental approach can sometimes cause them to overthink or get stuck in emotional loops. They want to understand why they feel the way they do, and this can make their emotional world feel like a never-ending series of what-if scenarios. In relationships, Gemini moons are playful, chatty, and adaptable. They thrive on mental connection and love someone who can keep up with their ever-changing thoughts and ideas. But don't expect them to be overly romantic in the traditional sense. They'll show their affection through witty banter, shared inside jokes, and spontaneous adventures. They're naturally curious about others, so they'll always want to know what makes their partner tick, what's going on in their mind, and how they can stimulate each other's imaginations. But if you're too predictable, Gemini moons might get bored. They need that mental stimulation, and if things get too stagnant, their attention might start wandering. While they may seem emotionally detached at times, this is usually a result of their need for mental space to process what's going on in their hearts. Don't take it personally if they need some alone time to sort things out. They're not pushing you away, they're just thinking things through. The biggest struggle for Gemini moons: emotional inconsistency. With their feelings changing like the wind, it can be hard to get a clear read on where they stand. They may be overthinking, overanalyzing, or dissecting every tiny detail of an emotional situation, which leads to a lot of emotional turbulence. They also have a tendency to detach from their emotions, trying to rationalize everything in their heads. The challenge here is learning to embrace their feelings without feeling the need to intellectualize or analyze every single one. Sometimes they have to remember that not everything needs to be figured out. Emotions are meant to be felt, not just analyzed. For Gemini moons to grow, they need to learn to slow down and give themselves permission to feel deeply without always needing to find a logical explanation. Emotional growth for them comes when they embrace their feelings instead of questioning them. They also need to recognize that consistency is key in relationships. They might find comfort in the chaos of mental stimulation, but at times, they need to balance that with emotional depth and stability. Trusting that emotions don't have to be fleeting can help them build more fulfilling connections. By leaning into their emotions rather than running from them, Gemini moons can find a sense of balance between their intellect and their emotional world. Learning to be present with their feelings can be incredibly transformative for them. Gemini moons are like a breeze, curious, adaptable, and always on the move. But remember, growth for them comes when they take a moment to sit still, embrace their feelings, and let them flow without overthinking every little detail. Thanks for tuning in to the AstroDecode Podcast. If this episode resonated with you, let us know. We promise not to leave you hanging with too many questions, unless you're a Gemini Moon, in which case, we'll probably leave a few unanswered for now. See you in the next episode.